In this episode, we'll explore and practice some basic color theory by painting color wheels. Welcome to Stecker Studios. To start our color wheel, we're going to place the circular template at the top of our page and trace the inside and outside of it. Next, we're going to mark each spoke so that later we can take our ruler and connect the lines separating each space for our colors. Be careful to connect going straight across, and it's a good idea to follow a circular pattern to make sure that you're connecting the correct marks so that your spaces are set up nice and even for your colors. Now number these spaces 1 through 12 going around clockwise. We use 2 styrofoam plates as our palettes. Write your name on the bottom of both of these plates. One of these is going to be the top, and one of these will be our palette for placing and mixing our paint. We're using the Blick series of student acrylic paints. We're using chrome yellow, cobalt blue, and bright red. Place about the size of a quarter of each color on your plate, evenly spaced. We're going to start by painting the primary color triads. Start with red in position number 1 and fill up the space nice and evenly. Clean your brush by rubbing the brush in the water on the sides of the soup can, and then dry your brush on your folded paper towel. Our next color is going to be yellow. Fill in space number 5 nice and evenly. It's a good idea to use the biggest size brush you can to paint the surface. This helps to save time and also paint evenly. Now we're going to place cobalt blue in space number 7. Again, try to fill that space up nice and evenly. It's very important to clean your brush thoroughly in between each color to avoid contaminating your paints. Move your brush around inside the water and rub it on the sides of the can in order to remove all the paint. Now we're ready to start mixing our first secondary color. We're going to be combining yellow and red to make orange. It's very important to start with the lighter of the 2 colors and slowly add the darker color in order to make the color that you want. If you go the other direction and start with the darker color, it'll take much longer and waste a lot of paint in order to make that color lighter again. The colors in our secondary triad are located evenly spaced between the primary colors that make them. So try to mix your colors up so that they're not too close or too much of yellow or blue in this case. We want to have a nice even medium green when we're mixing our secondary color. The final color in this triad is violet, so we're going to be mixing red and blue to get violet. Violet can sometimes turn out to be kind of dark, so when you're mixing it, try to balance out the red and the blue so that it's not too red or too blue. Violet belongs in space number 11. Again, try to fill it in nice and even. Now we're going to be moving on to our tertiary or intermediate colors. These are made by mixing a primary and a secondary color. My first tertiary color is red-orange, so I'm slowly adding red to my orange since orange is a lighter color than red, and I'm placing this in space number 2. Next, I'm going to be mixing a little bit of orange into my yellow in order to make yellow-orange. This goes in space number 4. Color wheels are radial diagrams used to organize colors. Later, we can use the color wheel to help us determine the relationships of colors and figure out what colors are used to mix other colors. They can also help us to decide on what colors we want to use. You can see now I'm starting to mix green and yellow to get yellow-green. This belongs in space number 6. Now I'm mixing blue and green to get blue-green and placing that in space number 8. Now mixing violet and blue to get blue-violet. This color belongs in space number 10. Finally, I'm going to mix red and violet to get red-violet. This belongs in space number 12. When it comes time to store your paints away to keep them from drying out, we place one plate right on top of the other as a top, place our plates inside of our Ziploc bag, and before we seal it up, we're going to spray one spray of water inside the bag but not on the paint to keep it humid to prevent it from drying out. For my final step, I'm going to outline my primary and secondary triads, and I'm also going to go ahead and label my colors. I'm going to mark the primary colors with the letter P and the secondary colors with the letter S. Now that our color wheel is complete, we have a tool to aid us in our color choices and also our color mixing. Thank you for watching Stecker Studios. Please like and subscribe.